This week's episode of the Living Outrageously podcast is brought to you by the Samurai Lounge. Join your fellow samurai in this exclusive group by signing up at livingoutrageously.com.
Dudes, welcome to the Living Outrageously podcast. This is the show where we teach you how to stop living a boring life and start living outrageously. My name's Dave Thompson, that is Matt the freaking man Kelly, and this is the show for passionate, creative, and intelligent people who want to step up and make their dent in the universe. Matt the freaking Kelly, impossible is an opinion.
It is.
Chicken. I don't know why I just said chicken, but on the show today, Matt Kelly, a topic that's probably a little bit more exciting than chicken.
Ooh, wow. Now, chicken is a quality food and an interesting pet, but today, Dave Thompson, it is about innovation. We're literally changing our lives, we're changing the world, we're improving everything that exists, and we're doing it by changing ourselves, improving ourselves, and making our own lives better. That is freaking exciting.
That's right, Matt Kelly, and today we are answering the question, do you need to innovate your life? And I would suggest to you, podcast viewer, and even to your good self, Matt Kelly, that if you are watching this episode of the Living Outrageously podcast, the answer would be most definitely yes.
Yes, in any case, in every single circumstance, it does not matter how samurai you are, the more samurai you are, I would argue, Dave, the more you know you need to continue innovating. Because you know how it is important to you to be up with it, to be making stuff happening day in, day out, and improving your life, and as a result, the whole world. Man, this is so big. This is going to be a huge episode, and I'm excited. But before we do, I would like to give a shout out, Dave. I would like to give a shout out to all of the members, the huge list of members of the ridiculously awesome and outrageous Samurai Lounge.
Indeed, Matt Kelly, it is the place to be. I go in there and every single day I'm literally astounded, man. The quality of the people in this lounge, dude, I've got to say, like, I've been part of some paid mastermind groups and paid networking groups, but for a free networking group, it's just so high quality, man. People are making connections. People in the States are becoming friends with people in Australia and in Canada and India, all these different places. And what's more, people are getting questions answered, and we're having a freaking good time, Matt Kelly. How funny, how awesome was it this week? Liana was going back through the previous episodes. She got to that one where we were doing like the Kelly Coliseum and the Davo Dome and the Simon Sphere.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, what am I going to do? And she had a bit of a conversation with the Samurai Lounge, and it came out, Liana's got her lair. Liana's lair.
And I'll tell you what, how powerful is that? Like, oh, what's that? You're going to join me in my lair. Okay, then. Like, that is the power play to the max. So I'm totally confident that Liana is going to dominate all, and it is freaking awesome. Dave, let's do a few little personal shout-outs here. Liana, awesome. Ben, Cecily, like, Pryor, Stephanie. These people are all killing it, and they're all in there talking. One person posts a thought and everyone responds, and that is so like powerful, man. So exciting. That is just, it's just an exciting place to be. If you want to get involved, you can. And as you mentioned, the ridiculousness of this, Dave, it's free. So if you want to go and join in and get involved in the Samurai Lounge, you can do it as simply as having a Facebook account and you're in. So go to livingoutrageously.com, sign up there, right-hand side, enter your details, we'll send you the private link, and we will personally invite you in to join the outrageous Samurai Lounge, but only if you are ready.
That's right, Matt Kelly. And yes, there is a double opt-in, so I would suggest that you do need to be quite ready to open a second email and then get access to this awesome group.
Commitment. Massive commitment.
Commitment.
If you have commitment problems to being a samurai, maybe this isn't for you, but I would suggest that if you've gotten this far into the episode, you're in. So just come join and let's make outrageous things happen.
All right, Matt Kelly, I feel like dancing a little bit. I feel like dancing because Do you need to innovate on your life? I've decided yes, and I'm going to get the body moving because I need some energy to present for the next, however long we're going to present for. It's going to be fantastic. Let's get down to business. So, podcast viewer and Matt Kelly, do you need to innovate on your life? We've already suggested that yes, you absolutely do. No matter whether you're stuck and you've got no idea what you're doing, or whether you're absolutely killing it and just going sloth, you need to keep moving. The thing is, and here's the line from the man, Gary Vaynerchuk, if you're not 100% happy, you need to change some stuff up. You need to switch it.
Man, Dave, an awesome one from Gary Vaynerchuk. If you're happy that you're falling asleep, then you are losing. Like, man, like if you know there's issues, of course you need to innovate. You need to innovate right now. Man, that's like so powerful and so obvious. We all know it. We all know it.
So here's a story, Matt Kelly. If you are not like the person that I'm about to talk about, you need this episode, okay?
Okay.
There is a guy called Joseph McClendon, okay? He is a man, black of skin, and he rolls with Tony Robbins, okay? He's a peak performance coach. I will demonstrate to you, and I think we've done it on the podcast before, but this is how he wakes up every single morning. So he's waking there, and his alarm goes at like some 3:30 or 4 a.m. every day.
Yep.
And he wakes up, and he just goes, yes! He just looks at his feet and he's like, my feet are above the ground. Yes! Man, that is the enthusiasm for life that you need to have. That's what we strive for, man. Just, all right, if that's not you, this episode is for you.
And even if that
Otherwise,
is...
you're going to get left behind because there's people like that, isn't there, Matt Kelly?
Oh, for sure. And you know what? Let's go a step further. Even if that is you, if that's you, then you know that you are like, you are so close to being like the constant innovator, the constant, like, I'm always going one step further, doing one step more, improving my life, that 1%. Because when you're at that end, Dave, you're at 99%. Like 99% energy, happiness, excitement, everything is good, but you're always pushing for that extra 1% because you always want to bring more in and make more happen. So if you're not there, you need this. If you are there, man, you still need it. You have to keep moving, constantly keep moving. Lag.
Because exactly right. Lag.
There's lag. Yeah, it's cool.
Lag.
Yep.
Lag. That's perfect, Matt Kelly, because I love that you said that, because in nature, you're either growing or you're dying. Do you ever see grass that stays exactly the same?
Nope. Absolutely not.
It may appear that it's the same if it's wintertime or a severe drought, but really, it's either going deady bones or growy bones.
Yeah, if you stand around and watch for long enough, Dave, then you know that ultimately, if you stand there and watch that grass grow, and that's like an analogy, like if you stand there and watch it grow, you know that it's moving. It's either going up or down, but it is moving constantly.
And Matt Kelly, just like Adam Sandler in the Billy Madison movie, you know from experience.
Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoy. It's deep and spiritual and yeah, whatever. Anyway.
I actually have a friend that loves watching grass grow. He made that as his like personal thing where he had quite a troubled upbringing, and then he decided, you know what? If I'm happy to be left on the side of the road and watch grass grow, then I'm at peace. So
yeah, man, how good would that be for meditation? like, jeez. I love it. I find that exciting. I think... Go.
Lag
is so
yeah,
bad.
he regularly goes to the side of the road and watches the grass grow. So, let's move on a little bit more. You do need to innovate to get where you want to go. And why else do you need to innovate? Well, along this journey to living outrageously, sometimes there's stuff that you wished you noticed, but you're actually not noticing. Now, what I mean here is, in our everyday life, we're encouraged just to go directly down the tunnel, isn't it? It's like
That's right.
tunnel, school, tunnel, education, tunnel, job for 40 years. Think about every day. You wake up, tunnel on the train to work or car, same route, and then tunnel in your job, and then tunnel home, and then tunnel to cook dinner. It's the same. What would happen, like if you're just doing this, are you noticing what's like just here, or just here, or just here, or just up there? Because those things that are around could be, and you know what, are the outrageous opportunities. Everyone else in the world is looking this way. What's up here, Matt Kelly? What's up here? That's why you need to innovate.
It's always the one, like, it's the 1% that live the outrageous lives, Dave, because everybody else is following the tunnel. Because guess what? It's what you've always been taught to do. Everyone's always told you to follow the tunnel, to don't deviate from that path, because in so many cases, that's the path to success. Right? Success. So stay on the path. Do not deviate from that path. Ignore the fun stuff that guy's doing over there. Ignore that. Pretend it's not there. Tunnel, tunnel, tunnel. And ultimately, you'll get to an end point that some might deem as successful, but the person who lives the outrageous life, who has that life all the time, and has had that life for the past 55 years, man, they don't think necessarily that going down the tunnel was the right way. And that's what this all comes down to, is being able to open up, just widen the tunnel a bit, open up the peripherals and see the outrageousness. Because when you sit there and you can visualize it and you see where it is, man, of course you're going to take it.
Exactly. It's very well done, Matt Kelly. Very well done. You, sir, are a high-quality speaker. I will give you that.
Oh, much appreciated, Dave. As are you. So let's continue.
Okay, down to business. So, what is innovation? And I know we have an LOP-style definition here. Matt Kelly, would you like to share, or would you like me to share?
Dave, you share, and I might elaborate. Go on, hit me.
Okay, so the LOP, Samurai Dictionary definition of innovation or innovating on your life is selecting the characteristics that must change now to empower dramatic and outrageous results.
There you go. It hardly even needs an elaboration, does it? Really what we're talking about here is, like, if you know there's something fundamentally wrong, or you know, not even fundamentally wrong, if you know something that could change, that could be improved, you're going to innovate on that, you're going to make that change, because you know that making that change will give you all the capabilities required to live the outrageous life that you deserve. Man, it's simple.
Matt Kelly, can we just take a moment, and this totally wasn't in the script for today, but can we just take a moment to ponder just how much both of us personally love to innovate?
Yes, we absolutely should do that.
It just struck me that, like, I love a lot of things, you know?
Yeah.
I love helping people. I love speaking on this podcast. I love coconut water. I love beach handball. But you know what? I also love innovating.
Oh, I would hate to think that there was an end to the innovation that I was pulling into my own life at any point. I would hate to think that there's ever a day where I just decide I don't need to innovate anymore. It's crazy.
All right, enough of the lovey-dovey situation. Have you felt enough appreciation for the innovation?
I think so. This is just a part of what we do, Dave. This is the craziness of the Samurai Lounge. I feel like every time I open my eyes and look at the Samurai Lounge, or look at my little black notepad, and it's just innovation everywhere we look. And if you're not doing that, then that's scary to me. That is scary, and that's why we're talking about it today, because we want these people to live outrageous lives and be able to look at themselves and go, actually, that part of me could be improved. Actually, I should change that. For me, it is one of the most important things that I know that I do. And I think it's the same with you, Dave. We both know that we are constantly growing, constantly changing, and ultimately innovating on our personal characteristics.
And you know what it's all about, Matt Kelly? It is all about elevating the potential of humanity. Really, that's what it's about. Take your potential and go here.
If you have a skill, a capability, a knowledge, or a piece of knowledge, or anything at all, and you can add that to the universe, if you can empower the world with that, and you don't, you are doing the world an injustice. And that's why you need to keep innovating, because you've got the potential to, and you know you do.
And it's fun as well, just to wake up and go, yeah, I'm a marathon runner, or yeah, I want to be an author, so I'm just going to write a book, or
I'm just going to do it because I innovate.
Awesome. Matt Kelly, are you ready to get down to the actually how to do this? Because we've got a pretty solid meat and potatoes right here. 5 steps, 5 different ways that you can innovate on your life and get outrageous results. Dude.
Oh, no, Dave, so much energy. I love it. I love it. This is what this is about. There is so much coming right now. I can't even, we just have to do this. We have to go through the steps because I know that I am going to innovate tonight. I know that there will be changes tomorrow that will take what we already know and take it a step further. And I have to go through the process right now, as does every single viewer that's gotten this far. So let's do it.
Matt Kelly, it just occurred to me that when you were saying that you may well wake up tomorrow as the president of the United States.
Maybe. Hey, listen, there's probably a job opening there. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe.
All right. Jokes aside, because I am in a bit of a joker mood tonight. We do want to have fun. Innovation is fun, you know. Innovation is fun. Let's get down to the business. There's 5 steps, all right? 5 steps. They're not. You don't have to do them in order, but there's certainly 5 methods and different ways that you can innovate. And all right, let's just get down to the first one. So the first one is go out and seek new voices. Seek new voices. And the reason we want to do this is if you've been going down the tunnel, okay, and you're just talking to people that are in the tunnel, they're going to give you answers on how to get further along that tunnel.
Yep. Especially if they're a step ahead of you in the tunnel, they know exactly what you need to keep doing. They will very quickly give you the advice you need to continue on the path to not catch up to them, but to just maintain the steady distance you are behind them. That is standard knowledge, Dave. How many people do I know, do we meet that say, this is the way that you need to do it. Or, if I were you, I would do this. And they're not thinking about you and your knowledge and your capability and what you ultimately want. They're saying, that's what I did. That's what other people do. That's what I think you should do. And it's tunnel.
Exactly. If they say you should, what is the big one? You should, they're just talking about their tunnel. Okay. Unless, key distinction, unless, of course, they are a true samurai at heart. In which case, I would consider very seriously thinking about what they say you should do. But you know what, Matt Kelly? A true samurai is probably never going to say you should. A true samurai will ask a high-quality question so that you get to answer yourself. Don't you agree?
Dave, absolutely. This reminds me of a very recent post by a very awesome LOP viewer in the Samurai Lounge where they reached out and they were talking about mentorship and seeking a mentor. And a few people posted there, and there was some quality results in that chain. I'm not gonna refer to who it was. If you want to get involved, you know how to hit the Samurai Lounge. But ultimately, If you know, the way I'm doing it may not be right, I know that ultimately there's an outrageous way of doing this, and you reach out to people and they say, no, do it this way. You should always do it this way. Ignore that, just do it this way. Then they're probably not thinking about you, as you say, Dave. As you very, very accurately said. This isn't about what they think is right. This is about what, you think is right. Don't follow their path. Build your own. If there's a tunnel going straight ahead and it's nicely lit and you can just cruise along, or you've got the choice to drill through beside the tunnel and go on your crazy adventure ride, man, I know what I'd rather be doing. Just putting it out there.
So you want to be talking to people who are going on that crazy adventure ride. Okay? So here what we're talking about is contact someone who you've never contacted before, who you've never spoken to, maybe a far removed friend of a friend of a friend or associate of someone. Yeah. Contact someone randomly on LinkedIn. Just find a personal blog and just go, bam, I'm going to send you an email.
This is about hitting up someone that you look at and you go, wow, how did they do what they've done? They could be a celebrity. Tim Ferriss says this all the time. It's go and reach the unachievable. Make that person who is already living their dreams, who's done 1,000 things that you want to do, make them aware of who you are and what you stand for. Because if you can do that, then you can open up a world of opportunities. The doors are already open to you if you've got the capability of doing that. And so few people will even try, Dave. People sit back and they're like, oh, no, too hard, or people do that all the time, or I'm not interested in that. And they miss out. So just get out there and make contact with people. Reach out.
Exactly. And so how can you actually get new voices and new perspectives into your environment? So the first way is go and join a networking group or a mastermind group of people that you've never met before. So you might want to go on meetup.com, and we're probably going to mention Meetup a couple of times because it is pretty good.
Yeah.
We've got involved with a few of their groups. Join a mastermind group. Join the Samurai Lounge, man.
Yeah.
That's just a no-brainer. It's like, well, what can I do immediately? Samurai Lounge. So do that. All the people in the Samurai Lounge are people, I promise you, that are going, there's a lot of mangoes up on that tree, and that lake over there's got a lot of lobster in it. I like lobster. You know, and they're either still in the tunnel and they're looking out, or they're like way over here.
Ignore
like
it. They
around.
know the tunnels are way.
Yeah.
Yeah. They know the tunnel's not even near them. And that's the best thing here is that those people, if there were people in there who were rejecting the outrageous, the opportunities, the adventures, then they wouldn't stay in there. Like, they wouldn't... You know the people who, when we talk to them and they're like, oh, I don't understand what you're talking about. Oh, no, like, that doesn't make sense, or I'm not into that. They're the people that we immediately go, okay. And it's like, we will part because you're not ready, and that's fine. But if those people were in the Samurai Lounge, they wouldn't last because they wouldn't like it. The people in the Samurai Lounge are so committed to it that they will help anybody. I, with total confidence, can say that there is not one person in the Samurai Lounge that wouldn't absolutely listen to where you're at, where you want to be, and potentially even give you some guidance from their perspective about what they've done to get to where they are. And that is powerful stuff.
Exactly. And so what you're finding with all those people in the Samurai Lounge is really they will act as your type of advisors. Okay, and that's who you need to seek out, is advisors that can give you a different voice. Now, I know myself, Matt Kelly, I have about 8 or so different people that I will contact. I just literally pick up the phone and just go, I don't speak to them regularly, only when I feel it's time for innovation. I pick them up and go, what do you think about this? Or I'm at this point and I want to go to here, what do you think? And they'll just go, well, have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? And just, boom.
Yeah.
We move, we go.
It's a personal, like, board of directors or advisors. I love it. I've got exactly the same situation. There is an episode there, Dave, that we've got to uncover there, which is about building your board of advice or your advice team.
Dude, can I actually... this wasn't in the script either, but I'm going to share something with you. I've picked up a little tip, and I love this. I've just implemented this in my own office now. So talking about board of advisors, I have my board of advisors that I get on the phone. I also have my dream team of advisors.
Yep.
Who are pinned to my wall. The likes of Mr. Godden.
If we're playing this game, Dave, I'm going to get
Mr.
mine.
Branson. The likes of Mr. Ferris, etc., etc., etc. Do you have them as well?
Yes, I do. I've got them all on my whiteboard. I'm gonna... it's attached to the wall. Next episode, Dave, I'll reveal mine. But I also have my... It's actually like... It's not even just the board, because it's like there's a lot more than the standard number of board members. It's like the dream team. It is like... I've got an Olympic-sized basketball team of the dream team advisors. And you know
Fantastic.
what? And I actually suspect that the people who do what we've done and have those names and have those people, man, I suspect a few of those people will be on your board of advice very shortly. Very shortly.
Absolutely, Matt Kelly. They're surrounding me every single day. I have no doubt that they will. And this leads into the next strategy for working out how to innovate, and that is to ask amazing questions.
Yeah.
So, if you've got this dream team looking down on you every single day, You just need to ask yourself the question, what question would they ask me? If I was standing next to Tony Robbins, what would he ask me? If I was standing next to Richard Branson, next to the Dalai Lama, next to Tim Ferriss, next to Seth Godin, if Vaynerchuk was in my room this instant, what would Vaynerchuk ask me? Dude, if you're getting a question from them, how good of an answer do you reckon you're going to get?
I'll go a step further, Dave. If you have gone through that process, listed those people, asked that question, and then come up with a really weak, wishy-washy question like what are you going to do today? Then no, that is you have not set the bar high enough. You have not set a samurai bar, because you know, Dave, those people are going to look at you and go, good, again. Do it again, do it differently, like improve on it, make it better, and they're always going to be on you. They're never going to let you sit back and take like baby steps. They're going to push you, man. They're going to be asking the questions that make you nervous and scared and go, oh man, I don't know how this is going to go. All right, listen, Gary Vaynerchuk's telling me I'm going to go do that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go and do that, and I'm going to make it awesome, because if I don't, the risk is Gary Vaynerchuk's looking at me going like, come on, what are you doing? Make it happen. Do it. I'm not going to let him down. I'm not going to let me down. Man, they're going to be massive questions. I love that. So powerful.
And can you contrast all of that, Matt Kelly, to the question that a lot of people might be asking themselves, which is, why am I so stuck? Or why don't I know what to do? If you're asking those questions, then you're going to get a shit question. You're going to get a shit answer.
The answer's not even going to tell you anything, Dave.
You're going to get a crap result. And just to bring up your question from before, you said, what should I do today? Reasonable question. Reasonable. Maybe a C minus, like just a pass.
It's barely a pass. It's barely a pass.
How about this one? What do I want to do today? What would be an amazing result for today?
Man, Gary Vaynerchuk, if he's standing there looking at me and he goes to me, he's not going to say, like, what should you do today? He's going to say to me, I saw what you did yesterday. I saw what you did the day before. Bigger, better, stronger, improve on it, make it better. What are you going to do? What are you going to do in the next 10 minutes to shape your day? What are you going to do to improve, what are you going to do today to make the rest of the week freaking outrageous? Very different question.
I like it, Matt Kelly. So how can you get different questions? Well, there's a number of different ways. You can get your board of advisors and ask, what would they be asking me? And then use that as a base. Or, Matt Kelly, you can get a coach. Because let's face it, a coach is the one that knows all the answers. And sometimes, man, I know this because I am a coach. Sometimes when I've been coached and my coach asks me a question, I'm just like, well, that changes things.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have to go. I have things to do.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
You know, questions are the answer. Questions are the answer. And we'll talk more about my coaching program that's up there at the moment. But Matt Kelly, if you need to innovate and you need some better questions, coach, man. Get a coach. Damn. Yeah. Here's the secret sauce. Here's the secret sauce. So if you're still stuck on what question to ask, I want you to ask this question, which will lead to another question, which will lead you to the awesomest answer of your life.
All right.
If I wanted an amazing answer right now, what question would I ask? Now, while you think about that, Matt Kelly, that question is directing your brain, directing your RAS to go seeking, and like a heat-seeking missile, to go searching for a quality question, which will result in a quality answer, which will lead to quality and outrageous results. Make sense?
Yes. It absolutely makes sense. That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. I love that. I love that. Because after we finish this podcast tonight, Dave, I've got work to do. I've got work to do because not only did I identify what the question would be, but I also asked myself the question, and I've also worked out that there's a lot of action that needs to take place tonight. Damn.
I hope podcast viewers can notice this. Matt Kelly actually did that exercise right then, and you can notice if you're looking at his physiology now, he actually got a very, very good breakthrough right then.
I did. I did.
How about that, Matt Kelly? Live coaching on the LOP, and dude, I'll invoice you for that later. Okay?
Yeah. Send me your check. It's fine.
No, you're sending me a check, man.
No, well, you send me the check. I'll fill in the numbers and I'll sign it. It's fine. We'll sort it out. Who pays the check anymore anyway? I don't even know what that means. Yeah.
I like this, Mr. iPhone on always.
Yeah. Oh! Somebody watched last week's episode. All right then. Well, I'm going to go and pack my weaponry and run it through the airlines, and we'll see what happens then. If people don't know what we're talking about, you've got to go back to our crazy quick tip battle episode last week, where we literally fired our quick tips at each other, one after the other, and it was a battle to the quick tip death, and I think we tied, so that was good. All right, Dave. Let's go. Let's do this.
Excellent. All right, number three. I think we might speed things up a little bit, Matt Kelly, because let's just do that. Because you know what, you've got things to do, and you've got breakthroughs to action. I do.
All
right. So number three. It's a little bit similar to number one, but the key here is to go looking for new perspectives. So get around people who think different to you. Now, what this means is, all right, so I want to use an example. We've got a couple of friends. We'll call them Trevor and Sean, because that's their names.
We're all about confidentiality here. Yep, Trevor and Sean. Yep.
Trevor and Sean, okay? Now, a couple of years ago, they started a sushi restaurant in, was it Chicago?
I'm not sure.
It doesn't matter where it was. They started a sushi restaurant. It went great. It was a big hit. And then they decided they didn't like making sushi anymore, so they stopped it. And then they moved on to their next idea, which is an iPhone app, in the betting industry, in the gaming industry. And they were wanting to develop their idea. They were a little bit stuck on where they were at. They sort of knew what they wanted, but weren't quite sure. Anyway, they get hold of one of the meetup groups that we're actually involved in, the Business Model Generation Meetup. And I know you posted that PDF on the Samurai Lounge this week, so...
Man, I love it. Yeah, this is the business model. Yeah, this is the Brisbane-based business model design meetup. And Dave, if you remember, we actually partnered up, our meetup partnered up with the Lean Startup Meetup. So this was like the combination, bang. And people... we mentioned meetup.com before. Seriously, if you are stuck and you want this perspective, go to meetup.com and just search some topics that you're interested in, because you will see it. But yeah, Dave, I remember that so well. We went to this meetup event and they were like, got this idea, need new perspectives. Okay, let's go to this meetup and go and see what happens.
Exactly. And did they get massive perspective or what? By the end of it, they had 40 people. It was about 40, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was about 40 people tearing their idea to shreds, and they came up with some outrageous things, like the iPhone app ended up becoming a sponsorship, for professional teams. How do you work that out? But all these different ideas, and now they had hundreds. They had hundreds. In terms of being able to take massive action, they had 100-strong buffet of options to choose from.
And Dave, I will tell you what's interesting about this is that some people in that room were very skeptical, and they went, wait, why would you come here and tell us this? Why are you asking us this? I could take your idea and steal it from you tomorrow. But you know what? To them, it was more important that they got the perspective of the wider group than it was that they just get this idea in their own heads and run with it. Because they knew that the power of the 40 minds was worth so much more than that little bit of risk that it might disappear. And anyone who follows the LOP knows that, put it out there. Just trust the universe. Put it out there. If someone takes it, good on them. You're a samurai and you've got 1,000 more ideas. And that's what was awesome about these guys is they didn't care about that. They didn't even think about that. They went, there's 40 people there. They're all there for a reason. And Dave, if you're going to a meetup group late at night, midweek, in the middle of the city, then you're probably samurai. In many cases, you will be. So they knew that these people were obviously going to be relatively high quality. They've walked in there, they've put it out, and they've gotten like you say, a buffet of options. It was quite a phenomenal night. I remember it very well.
Oh, buffet. Buffet. All right.
And shout out to Trevor and Sean, by the way. Those guys are cool guys. They're back in America now, and they are rocking it. So yeah, massive props to them.
Man, we have some lag.
Yeah, there's severe lag right now, but it's all good. It's all good. We will fight on.
We will fight on. Raw. Okay, let's talk about number 4. The way to get innovation into your life is try on new passions, Matt Kelly.
Yeah. It's all about doing new things, Dave. Picking up the ball and throwing it. Trying something you've never ever tried. This can stem from those people that you're reaching out to that are doing things that you've never done before. Because guess what? When you see that this other person that's living the ultimate life that you want to live, and you look at what they've done, there's nothing more exciting, motivating, that makes me more enthusiastic than seeing what other people have done. And I just get excited about the opportunities. And then we start innovating on it, Dave. We do this all the time, where we start bouncing ideas around. And that's what we do with... We do this with like podcast viewers all the time. In the Samurai Lounge, we've done this on Skype calls where someone said, I've got this idea, what should I do? And then suddenly it's like a bounce. When you go and you do that and you put that out there and then you just pick up something new and try something you've never done before, that's exciting. And that's from this passions perspective, Dave. So good. Like, you try something you've never done and it could be the coolest thing you've ever done in your life.
Exactly. And you know what else? It could be the crappiest thing you've ever done in your life. But at least you will know, Matt Kelly.
Learning experience.
At least you will know. I have a good friend, Tritter. I decided I wanted to shake things up. I wanted to learn how to surf. This was like when I was a teenager, when I was an early teenager. And his advice to me was, Dave, you're not going to learn to surf unless when you go out there, you try and catch every single wave.
Yeah.
If it's coming anywhere near you, you try and catch it. Jump on as many waves as you can. If you're trying to find your passion and like find your place in the world and work things out, go balls in, try something and try it and try it and try it. If you don't know what job you want, or what industry you want to be in, try a heap of industries. Man, I could go on for the next 47 years about the different jobs that I tried through university trying to find my place. Totally. You got to try stuff. You got to try new passions.
Oh, it's ultimately if you don't know what you want, then you need the context of other experiences, and that's where the passions kick in, because you can try so much. And one might argue, Dave, that you'll know pretty early on if it's not right for you. If you go start somewhere and there's things you obviously don't like about it, move along. Try something different. How did you know, Dave, that beach handball was the single greatest sport in the world until that one day you were sitting there and you went, I want to go try beach handball, and you went online and you looked at where it was and you went to it. Now, there was a pretty big barrier to starting that, because it wasn't like you were just wandering along and someone passed you a handball and said, Dave, come join in. You had to go through the process of looking it up, finding out about it, going to it without knowing anybody there, and picking up the ball and asking if you could join in. That is a massive, massive barrier. But when you did that, you worked out that beach handball was the coolest sport in the world, which I would firmly agree. And next thing, you're in like the Middle East, playing for Australia at the World Championships. Like, that is what happens when you find your passion and you run with it. And that's like, if that story doesn't excite you, if you don't look at that and go, wow, that was like 18 months, wasn't it, Dave?
Yeah.
Like, talk about going from, I don't know, to like being so excited about it. It is the best thing in the world and I love it. Damn, that's pretty cool. Massive lag.
Great story, Matt Kelly. Great story. Because lag. Lag. Great story, Matt Kelly. And that's the whole thing. New passion brings new energy, brings new experiences, gets the ball rolling. New results. New results. Should we move on to the final way to get innovation and innovate on your life so that you can get more dramatic and outrageous results? Are you ready to move on, Matt Kelly?
Yes, I am. Let's do this. Let's do it.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
This is one that you are quite famous for. And in fact, at your little home on the interwebs, mattkelly.com.au, you are I believe you have a number of experiments on this particular site. So, you know what? It's like they say in the Warren Miller ski movie. He who goes no further than the crowd will end up in the crowd. He who goes where no one else has gone will see what no one else has seen. All right? Try stuff. We talked about try new passions. This is more like conducting experiments. So what we're talking about here is things like, let's use the example of you writing your book, Outsourcing with Confidence.
Yeah.
Okay? So that whole thing was Alan. Have you seen those movies?
Yeah.
Alan, Steve. Oh, I'm funny tonight, aren't I, Matt Kelly?
You are. As you are every night, Dave Thompson. As you are every night.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Matt. So you were out there writing a book as an experiment. Can I be an author? And you managed to prove that experiment correct. Yes, I can be an author. I finished the book. And then you got to the stage of getting traffic and driving leads and all things like that. And I know for a fact that you tried a suite of different traffic generation methods. And I also know for a fact that some of them sucked.
Some of them did suck.
Some of them were terrible. But I also know that you entirely hit the mark with some other methods. And as a result, you got to number 7 on the bestseller list.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, Dave. The one thing that I realized pretty early on was that if you're going to spend hundreds of hours researching, writing, proofreading, editing, like if you're going to get that whole process of doing that, and then you're going to go, finished, done, move on, and you're not going to complete the job. And really, for me, completing the job wasn't finishing the book. It was putting the book out there and having people reach it and ultimately enjoy it. And to get people to enjoy it, I had to drive traffic to it, Dave, and you're right. I tried heaps of different things, and I tried every single pay-per-click ad network that exists I signed up for, and I tried, and I tested, and I tried different copy and different bidding techniques and everything. Like the landing page that I had, the dedicated website, that changed about 50 times throughout the process of starting the book and getting it live to the point where it is right now. And for me, it wasn't finished until the traffic was being driven. And to this day, it's still not finished. I'm still working on it. Not necessarily in the traffic driving techniques, because I'm pretty happy with where it's gone, but in what I'm doing now with the book, in the other opportunities I've received as a result of writing the book, and that ultimate strategy around that, it all comes back down to the fact that I started it, I kept going, I finished it, and I was like, I'm an author now. Cool. Well, that's awesome. That's one thing that I wanted. But now it's time to finish it, and it's really time to execute. And it was all about experimentation the whole way through. Lag.
And can I add another lag? Lag. Should we wait for the lag to stop, or should let's continue talking?
Let's just keep going. It's all good, man.
Okay. All right. Awesome. I want to share another quick story about someone who's experimenting. So we have an absolute gun samurai in the Samurai Lounge. His name is Pryor, okay? Doing all sorts of good stuff. One of his experiments was on Fiverr. And he's put up this gig, and he just see what he could do with it. Does he like Fiverr? Does it work? Do people want what he's got? And I got a note from him the other day saying that he's about to take it down. So obviously he's learnt his lesson from that experiment. He either likes it, but doesn't want to continue because it wasn't profitable, or maybe he didn't like it. In any case, he did an experiment and he got a result, and now he's taking action. And that's what it's all about. He's learnt about Fiverr now.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Fiverr is that website where you go up there, you post a job, for lack of a better word, and people can come in there and just buy it for $5, and you will do whatever that is. And Pride, and frankly, I loved what Pride was doing. I thought it was an awesomely valuable technique that he had, and I won't shout it out right now because he may have already taken it down. And those of you who do want to learn more, Samurai Lounge, livingoutrageously.com, sign up right there in the panel, and you can get involved in the Samurai Lounge, and you could ask Pryor directly what he was doing, and he'll probably tell you because he's excited about it, and that's awesome. Pryor never stopped experimenting with it, Dave. He was in the Samurai Lounge telling us what he was doing, floating ideas with us, and we're all getting involved and helping him with that experiment, and that's what it's about.
That's it, Matt Kelly. That's it. So, that's pretty much a wrap. We've got the 5 different options for innovating in your life to get better, more dramatic, more outrageous results. There's get new voices, ask new questions, find new perspectives, take up new passions, and try new experiments. If you give those a go, you will innovate on your life and you will get outrageous results.
Man, it's pretty simple, Dave. It's pretty simple.
Matt Kelly.
What content? That was freaking cool, Dave. I'm excited. I've got so much innovation that has to take place tonight. Let's smash out a quick tip here because I'm pumped.
All right, let's do the quick tip. Let's do the quick tip. So, this is a relationship quick tip. All right, this is a relationship quick tip for all you people who are dating a man. If you're a man and you're dating a man, or you're a man dating a woman, or you're a woman dating a woman, or a woman dating a man, these work. In fact, that it works with all relationships. All relationships. So here's the deal. Relationships fail for one of 2 reasons, and I'm going to share with you one reason tonight. One reason is that it's what we call a negative anchor. Remember, consider this situation. Husband comes home, long day at work. He's tired. He's just been stuck in traffic. His boss is on his back. All he wants to do is sit down, take the shoes off, and chill out. The wife gets to the front door. Wah, 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 wah. Take the rubbish out. You got to do this. Why did you do this? Wah, 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 wah. When that situation happens, wife fights with man, and there's a negative emotion going on there. There's a lot of anger that comes up, yeah? A lot of anger that comes up. If you are in that peak state of being angry while looking at someone, their face will become anchored to the feeling of anger. And before long, you'll get to the situation where the wife is saying things like, "Oh, I just can't bear to look at him anymore. Just the sight of him makes me angry." If you've heard that, it's because there's a negative anchor there. So what's the solution, Matt Kelly? With your partner, if you are going to fight, just say, "Are we going to fight?" And if she says yes or he says yes, okay, let's go for a walk. You can fight as much as you want, but you're not looking at each other. You're not creating a negative anchor. Dude, that's one of the secrets of having a freaking outrageous relationship.
And Dave, I would like to make one little point, one little add-on to that. Could, very much about equal opportunities here, could be reverse scenario very easily. Could be like man at home, woman comes home from work, and it could be exactly the same scenario. This is simply an example, isn't it, Dave?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Matt Kelly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The key here is if you're fighting while you're looking at each other, it's creating a negative anchor. Don't do that. Do not do that. Go for a walk. Are we going to fight? Yes. Let's walk. In
any relationship at any point in time. And Dave, frankly, this could be like, think about like family. Like I'm not talking about husband and wife even. You could be like, I think a whole lot of our viewers, Dave, are young. They could be teenagers. If you're fighting with a sibling and you don't want to be angry every time they walk in the door, then when you're talking to them, when you're fighting, when you know you're arguing, just don't look at them. Just don't look at them. Argue as much as you like, but don't look at them because we won't build in the negative anchor. I love it.
Dude, all right.
All right.
That's the business.
It is, Dave. It is, Dave. I do want to do one shout out. And my shout out that I want to give this week is to Dave Thompson. Yes, Dave Thompson, the guy I'm talking to right now, viewers. I'm not talking to Dave right now. I'm actually talking to all of you. All I was going to say was, Dave, was people, I have it with very good authority. In fact, probably the best authority that I could possibly have for this particular circumstance, that Dave's coaching program is about to sell out. The coaching package program that he has got on the LOP website right now. I know, Dave, that you're running to a very tight schedule. People who watch this episode will have a very short amount of time, if you watch it when it comes out, to jump in and join in. And I know you're about to pull the trigger on it, and it's going to be an outrageous time. I'm definitely joining in because it's going to be huge. So, viewers, if you want to get involved with us and make outrageous things happen, your ridiculously awesome coaching package, Dave, it's all on the LOP website, isn't it?
That's right, Matt Kelly. That's right. It's not LOP. It's livingoutrageously.com, and just click the coaching link or livingoutrageously.com/coaching. Go on, find out everything that it's about. There's just 1 or 2 places left. I am closing it at the end of this week, Matt Kelly. We're moving on to bigger and better things.
Man, we cannot...
So if you want in...
People. The end of this week. Now, this episode is going to go live Wednesday Australian time. That's Tuesday US time. That's whatever it is, wherever you are. People, you've got at maximum 3 days before this coaching package will be closed. If you want to join in and get the outrageous results that we are all going to absolutely 100% get out of this, and let's face it, Dave, if you're watching this podcast, you know the value of coaching because you've stuck with us this long. It's a massive opportunity. Get involved. Do not miss this chance to make awesome, ridiculously outrageous things happen in your life.
Woo, Matt Kelly, that is a wrap. If there's no more business, I'm very happy to wrap up today. It has been a pleasure podcasting with you. Dude, this would have to have been one of the finest examples of teamwork and jokes and content
and lag
and laughter and lag ever on the history of the LOP. So I thank you for that. Dude, there's not much more to say except... you won't let the sloth win, will you? And if you don't want a boring life, if you want a boring life, go sit in the cubicle. My name's Dave Thompson. That is Matt the freaking Kelly, and we will catch you on the other side.
Peace out, everyone.